are ready to rock and roll. There we go. There we go. We're getting there. Okay. Who's ready to get started? Well, that's my mom for you. Good evening, everyone. Before we start, I would like everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, let's quietly have a seat. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Mike Firestone, and I'm the Athletic Director of Linden Public Schools. I'm also the Chairman for the Linden High School Athletic Hall of Fame. Tonight we proudly welcome the 7th class into the Linden High School Athletic Hall of Fame. It's an honor to celebrate this special occasion with all of you. This is our first Hall of Fame ceremony in more than 13 years. And I can't express how excited I am to bring this tradition back to life. To see so many familiar faces, proud families, and members of our community gathered here tonight makes it all worth it. We recognize 6 athletes, 2 coaches, 2 sports contributors, 1 civic leader, and 4 outstanding teams, each of whom has made a lasting impact on Linden athletics. Our athletes, Aaron Howard, Micah Jonathan Pettit-Home, Dion Candia, Desmond Wade, Otis Livingston II, and Roy Mickens. Our coaches, James Bucky McDonald and Sherry Pisano-Werham. Our sports contributors, Lawrence L.J. McGee and Dr. Kathleen Starling. Our civic leader, Senator Nicholas P. Scuteri. And our teams, the 1961 cross-country team, the 1982 boys basketball team, the 1985 football team, and the 2014 football team. When I became athletic director, one of my first goals was to reestablish the Linden High School Athletic Hall of Fame, to make sure the people who built our athletic tradition would always be remembered and celebrated. This initiative is about more than recognition. It's about honoring our history, inspiring our student athletes, and celebrating the pride and unity that make Linden such a special place. None of this would be possible without the incredible support of our school district, our city, and our entire community. I am truly grateful and appreciative for everyone who believed in bringing this ceremony back. Thank you to Mayor Derek Armstead for his commitment to the youth of Linden, and to our superintendent, Dr. Atia Perkins, for her leadership and support of our athletic programs. Thank you to our Board of Education members for their encouragement and dedication to provide meaningful opportunities for all of our students. A special thank you to the Linden High School Athletic Hall of Fame Committee. Art Restel, Sherry Pisano-Werhan, Tamika Dixon, Fred Cassell, Dion Candia, and Al Volpe. And to Al Volpe, thank you for your continued guidance and support. We're also grateful to our sponsors and donors, Primavera Restaurant, Chevy's, Applebee's, and Poptonian Food Services for helping make tonight possible. And to our inductees, congratulations. You represent the very best of Linden, excellence, perseverance, and pride. Your achievements inspire our students and our entire community. As we honor the past, we also look ahead, continuing to build on the tradition of excellence that defines Linden athletics. Thank you all for being here tonight and for celebrating Linden's legacy. Before I call up our guests of honor, I would like to take a moment of silence to honor and remember all of our inductees who have passed. If I unintentionally miss anyone, please know they remain in our hearts and in our prayers. Tonight, we remember Dr. Kathleen Starling, Rich Rustel, Mitchell Underwood, Lee Pridgeon, Renaud Jude, Coach Wilbur Akins, Joe Mahan, Robert Hachkowski, Frank Lysick, Steve Krisiak, Tony Ciano, William Orack, Trell Foster, Richard Moore, James Sporer, Robert Shalhoub, Gerald Heiberger, Robert Willis, and Tony Purcell. May their legacies continue to inspire all of us. Please join me now in a moment of silence. Thank you. At this time, I would like to call up our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Atia Perkins.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I contemplated saying Big L rocks the house to start us off with, but I can say it now. Big L rocks the house, clearly, right? It is truly an honor to stand here before all of you. When we think about athletics, it comes from a place of cheering and celebratory wins, and even when those losses come, what are we going to do next? But for tonight, it's bigger than that. As I've looked around the room, what I've seen was love, pride, joy. Taking a moment of silence for those that are no longer here, it reminds us all that Linden is an intergenerational city that's built on pride, an expectancy that you don't have to do it alone. So congratulations to each and every one of you that are sitting here today, Whether you were in that sportsman role, a mentor role, or a cheerleader on the side or even at home, we're all connected together to represent what Linden stands for. 07036 zip code goes bigger than New Jersey. When you leave here tonight, and as you continue to move forward and press through, I just want you to know that we are so thankful to stand here as the superintendent of the school district where I was on the sidelines as a child, seeing some of you. You're older, that's okay. Cheering you on. I am just so proud to be part of this legacy. So thank you. Continue for that mentoring. We have a long road to go to continue with building this legacy for the next generation. So as we sit here representing the past, and God bless you for being part of the present, let's continue to walk with pride and joy that we got a future ahead and we're not stopping after tonight. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening.
Next, I would like to call up the Honorable Mayor Derek Armstead.
You call me honorable. I've been called a lot worse. Good evening, everybody. Let me just tell you, it gladdens my heart when I look out in the audience. I see so many old friends, guys from my generation, guys before me, and gals before me, who have put our town on the map. You understand me? We have turned out some great athletes in this town. I don't care whether it's basketball, football, baseball, and now even soccer, we turned out some great athletes. And that's Linden. That is Linden. So I want to welcome all our distinguished guests, members of the administration, Board of Education, Mr. Kuntz, Mr. Firestone, faculty members, and all of our proud inductees. You know, these days I'm engaged in a little bit of athletics myself, an old man like me, but it's called politics. Okay? And it is a sport, believe me when I tell you. And it's a rough one. I'm glad I don't have to throw a ball or do too much. The only time I run is election time. But it's just great to be here, and I tell you, this town, again, has churned out some great athletes. It's churned out some great people. I mean, it's that competitive feeling inside this town that led me to get into politics. You know, I love politics, I love this town, and everyone knows I'll do anything to see this town be number one. I go to almost every basketball game. I'll skip a council meeting to go to a basketball game. You know, and lately, you know, I've been watching all these other towns. They recruit from everywhere in the world to have great basketball teams. But Linden never had to engage in such foolishness. Our guys are homegrown, and we can compete with the best of them. Okay, and that's basketball, football, baseball. Like she said, we throw some L's around here. This is a great town. I love this town. And again, I want to congratulate all you inductees. You know, it's a wonderful feeling to see all you guys back here tonight. And I want to thank, first of all, I'm gonna single somebody out right now. He's sitting right there, Mr. Walter Martin. Walter, I'm gonna single him out because you know why? He's the guy who brought this thing to the table. He's one of the originals. And I want to thank him for doing what he does. His daughter works in recreation. Talk about competitive. She's one of the best employees we have in the city. She does her job, you know. And I hate to single you out like that, Brother Martin, but you deserve it. You raised a good daughter. You ran a good recreation program for years. So that's right, for years. And, so when you want to talk about athletes and how people turn out, a lot of it has to do with people who are running these programs. Okay, this doesn't happen. This is not happenstance. This is a lot of training, a lot of people putting in the time to make our children what they are. And athletics is one thing, but you have to understand that not only do we produce athletes in this town, we produced upstanding citizens in this town. 99% of our athletes came out of here doing something productive. You know, very few have got off the track. So we're very proud of the traditions that we have, winning, being productive, and even when we lose, we win. God bless you all, and thank you all for coming out.
Thank you. I would like to now call up Dr. Marlena Berghammer, our Board of Education President.
Good evening, everyone. As I stand here tonight is a great example of what we call the circle of life. When you look around you here tonight, you have so many different generations. I was amazed. And finally, I'm in a room that I'm not the oldest person. But while I was standing here, I saw people taking pictures with jackets, 1977, 1982. It was amazing. But before we leave here tonight, I ask everyone to talk to someone new. Share a story or two about your past. Ask the superintendent if you could start mentoring some of our students. Because I think our younger generation have lost sight of our history, of our rich history, and it's time we bring it back to Linden. I am going to ask the superintendent today. I am feeling the richness of the stories in this room, and I would like to hear more of it. And I would like the superintendent to possibly start having you guys share your story on our website, because you are the past, you are the present, and you will always be in our future. Thank you.
Next to the podium, I would like to call Principal Charles Kuntz.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Peace and love, family. You know, when I walked in the room tonight, I just felt the love and the energy. It felt so powerful. And it reminded me of when I arrived here about 3 years ago. I said to myself, you know what, this is where I want to be. I got to be here. This is the place where everything is happening at. This is where the love and the culture and the community is very strong and thriving, so I need to be here. And I'm happy to be here once again. For those of you that don't know me, once again, my name is Charles Kuntz, and I am the proud principal of Linden High School. Thank you. You know, sports is like music. It brings us together and it breaks down barriers regardless of color, creed, ethnicity. It brings us all together in the spirit of love, and that's the spirit that we feel here tonight. So once again, I am truly honored to be a part of this rich tradition of community, family, prestige, and tribute. Tonight we honor all the athletes and coaches that dedicated their mind, body, energy, and time to achieve greatness in their respective sport. Your accomplishments transcend beyond the basketball court, football field, or the wrestling match, because your achievements have left marks on this great city that will forever be remembered. Our children and community can look to your examples of leadership for inspiration, direction, and hope. As a former athlete, I am a firm believer that sports are a true representation of life, as you must work hard, work out, eat right, study, make adjustments, and build relationships in order to taste the sweet nectar that we call success. As I walk through the halls of Linden High School, your greatness remains not only in trophies, pictures, and news articles, but in spirit, as our current athletes walk in your footsteps and also blaze a path of their own. In life, we all face ups and downs and experience wins and losses, but the mark of a champion is the will to forge on with discipline, dedication, and fortitude, no matter the weather. You are Hall of Famers because you embody the heart of a champion. Your ability to rise to the occasion, to deliver under pressure, and to support your teammates is a noble trait that will be respected in the city of Linden from generation to generation. Let this night be one to reflect on and be proud as your legacy shines bright like a diamond. Once again, congratulations to all the Hall of Famers for being honored tonight. Peace and love, and thank you.
Okay, I think we're ready to get started. What do you guys think? It's only been 13 years, right? Before we begin, I'd like to respectfully request that one photo with each inductee or team be taken immediately after their speech by our media team. Other photos can be taken at the end of the ceremony so we can keep the program running smoothly and on schedule. Each inductee and team will be presented with a plaque in recognition of their achievement. Team members will also receive individual certificates. In addition, we ask that speeches be kept within a time frame of 2 to 3 minutes out of respect for the many inductees being honored this evening and to ensure the ceremony continues to move along smoothly. At this time, I would like to start with our civic leader. A civic leader is an individual who actively participates in and contributes to the betterment of their community through leadership, advocacy, and service. I can't think of a more deserving person for this recognition than Senate President Nicholas P. Scuteri. Senator Nicholas P. Scuteri, a lifelong Linden resident and former standout wrestler at Linden High School, has dedicated his career to public service, law, and community advocacy. From his roots in Linden to serving as the 115th president of the New Jersey Senate, he has championed education, civic programs, and initiatives that uplift communities across the state. Let's welcome Senator Scuteri to the podium.
Thank you so much. First of all, most of you, if not all of you, who grew up in Linden, and I see so many faces I haven't seen in a long time, it really is an awe-inspiring event. So I want to say thank you to the members of the Board of Education, the superintendent, the mayor, the members of council, and most particularly the chairman of the committee and all the members. Thank you so much for this honor. It's truly humbling. Having grown up in Linden, most of you understand coming from humble roots, beginning with less than hopefully we have now, and working our way up through life. But bringing with us Linden all the way through. The mayor brought up Mr. Martin. I remember Mr. Martin when I was this big, and you fought so hard for that T-shirt in the games coming from the parks. I was at Lexington Park, and you'd compete against all the other parks. We had an outstanding recreation program, and that just has such an impact on your life. And going through Linden High School with the coaches, and I was the captain of the varsity wrestling team. I wasn't that good, but I was the captain. Maybe I had some leadership at that point in time, but I still am friends with many of those folks that I served with then. And going all through politics and starting on the Linden Board of Education. That was my first elected office. People ask me all the time about politics, and I said, I hadn't won that election in 1993. I probably wouldn't be here standing today. And on December 5th, I'm going to be the acting governor of the state of New Jersey. So if anybody needs a pardon, see me. Some people are moving over to the side. And a quick story. When I was last acting governor, I played a prank on the governor. I did draft a fake pardon for somebody, and they thought I was really going to sign it. But they were from Linden, and they know who they are. But you can't have some fun. What else can we do? But it has been really with pride and pleasure that I have represented the city of Linden for over 30 years. And I have done the best that I can to bring back to the city as much as I can. And being the Senate President for the last few years, I've had a unique opportunity to be able to invest in the city because of what you give back. And anybody that's in this room and that went to Linden High School and went through the schools and the recreation program knows what that means. And it was very meaningful to me, and it continues to be meaningful to this day. My officers are still here and love representing in this city in the state legislature for these years. But with it, you'll always bring back to those Linden roots. And today is just such a humbling experience for me, and I'm sure for the members of all these inductees. I'm looking at the 1985 football team. I went to a lot of those games. And I'm sure they're going to tell you about all their tremendous accolades, but I was watching from the sideline, and it was really a tremendous experience. But Linden is where it all began for me, and for many of you, where neighbors look out for one another, where schools build leaders, and where service truly means something. And Linden will always be home to me, and I'm sure for most of you. So it is with the sincerest gratitude that I say thank you for this tremendous award. I could not be more humbled and grateful. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Senator Scuteri. We are now going to transition to our teams. First is the 1961 cross-country team. The 1961 Linden High School cross-country team, in just the program's second year, achieved an extraordinary number 12 ranking in the state, still the most successful season in the 65-year history of Linden cross country. Led by senior captain Neil Metzger and a talented squad of 26 athletes. Their dedication and teamwork not only brought statewide recognition, but also inspired future generations, with several team members going on to become influential coaches themselves. Would members of the team please come forward? Speaking on behalf of the team is Art Rostel.
Thank you very much. I'm so proud to stand up here tonight and represent this team. I want to go back to Okay, is that better? Sorry. I want to go back to the year before, 1960. I was a senior that year, a 16-year-old senior. And the year before, 1960 was the very first team that Linden ever had. And there were 23 boys on the team that year. And I remember I came to Linden High School as a transfer from Seton Hall Prep. And at that time, when I came in the first day in homeroom, Mr. Pekulski's class, I remember they announced, sign up for the cross-country team. So I signed up with 22 other boys, and we only had about 10 days to get ready for the first meet. So we we didn't do too well. None of us had ever run before. In the first year, we won 2 meets and lost 8. So it was kind of a disappointment for all of us, but the next year, about half of us, I guess, came back on the team, and 5 of us that returned from the previous year's teams were Neil Metzger, Bill Zarenka, Steve Kupcho, myself, and Mitchell Underwood. And that team, we had all 5 of us made up part of the 8 top runners on the team, which represented us in every meet that we ran throughout the state. And we added on to Bob Firestone, was only a sophomore then, came up and became our 2nd runner on the team and one of the best runners in the state. Henry Kukulski also came up as a sophomore and became our 7th runner on the team. And my twin brother, I talked into my identical twin to join me for the last year, and we were back and forth the whole season. So we're 8 of us that made up the team, and it's amazing to me when I think back about it that Neil Metzger was our top runner and also the top athlete in the graduating class that year. And Bob Firestone was 2nd, Bill Zarenka was 3rd, Steve Kupcho here was number 4, I was number 5, my twin brother was number 6, and Henry was number 7, and Mitchell was number 8. And it amazes me when I think back, in the races that we ran, usually Neil Metzger was first in every meet. I think Bob beat him once or twice that year. And Neil set a school record of 12 minutes and 55 seconds for the 2.5-mile mark at Warnaco Park where we ran our meets. And Bob was to come along the next year and break the record and ran 12:42. And then as 2 years later, when he was a senior, he came in 5th in the whole state. So that was pretty good. And we realized that we were pretty good when we ran Westfield. Westfield was the best team in the state, and they only beat us 25-30 in our dual meet. So we almost dumped them. So we continued to make progress all throughout the course of the season, and the state finals came along, and we did very, very well. And when the state rankings came out at the end of the season, out of about 400 teams in the state, we were rated 12th in the whole state of New Jersey, which was quite a turnaround for only the 2nd year in existence of having a cross-country team. So that's one of the things I'm most proud of. We also had athletes on the team. We had 3 basketball players. We had Steve, who made first team All-County when he was a senior. He also made first team All-County in baseball and pitched a no-hitter. Wow. We had Bill Zarenka. Bill was All-County first team when I was a senior, and he went on to Uppsala College, and when the school closed, he still had the high scoring record in the history of the school. And Bob Firestone was also a basketball player, so he had some pretty good athletes on the team. And he became a coach at Elizabeth High School for many years, and as a basketball coach at Elizabeth, his girls' team won a state championship. So Bob and I ran into each other at the ShopRite once in a while, and other than that, I'd run into him down at Homedale Park because I was coaching Edison High School for 36 years, and then I coached over at Union High School for 4 years, and my son was, as assistant coach, my son got to be our top 2-mile runner on that team, and he was also captain of the cross-country team at Union High, and he's here tonight with me, and his wife is here, and my good friend Julie. So we had some outstanding runners there and the athletes, and it all came together, and we got along so well. Mr. Gaines was our coach. He was a basketball coach, and he was a golf coach, and he took on the cross-country job, and we learned a lot about life from him. He was such a nice man, and we loved running for him. So I'm so proud to be here tonight. I'm glad that I grew up in Linden. Every time I come here, I think of it. My heart is in this for the rest of my life.
you, everyone. Thank you.
Okay. Next up is the 1982 boys basketball team. The 1982 Linden High School boys varsity basketball team finished the season with an outstanding 24-3 record, capturing the Union County Tournament Championship and showcasing exceptional balance, depth, and teamwork. Anchored by stars like Troy Stratford, Steve Wilder, and Don Franco. This team's dedication, skill, and legacy continue to inspire Linden athletes and the community to this day. I was about to say, would members of the team please come forward, but they're already behind me. So. Speaking on behalf of the team is Mr. Steve Wilder.
Hey, everybody good tonight?
Yes, sir. Everybody good? Yes, sir. I know about 82. 82 got juice. Damn right. 82 got juice.
We are so happy to be here. We are so happy to be here.
Talk positive.
We are so honored to be elected to be with the other greats in the city of Linden. I see some of my idols out here that I grew up watching: Aaron Howard, Calvin Duncan, Gordon Austin, Larry McGee. We got a ton of great athletes in the city.
Talk positive.
So quickly, what I want to do is go through our season. We started off the season 1-0. Second game, we played the number 2 ranked team in the state, Montclair. We wiped them out at home. We won 5 or 6 more games. We had a big rivalry game against Plainfield. We ended up losing to them by 2. Then we went on a spectacular run. We got to the finals of the county. We ended up playing Union Catholic with one of our current Hall of Fame members, John Hempel. Great player. We took them out by 20.
Talk positive. Talk positive.
He had 40 on us, but we took them out by 20. And then we went on to the States. We lost to a team at the Meadowlands called Cinnaminson.
Who? Wow. Who?
Cinnaminson.
Wow.
None of us like cinnamon anymore.
Have a 20 halftime. Have a 20 halftime.
I got you, Sid.
Have a 20 halftime.
I got you, Sid. I got you,
Have a
Sid.
20 halftime.
Okay. I got you,
Have a 20 halftime.
Sid, you got it. Okay, Sid's a little hyped tonight, y'all. But we glad he's here.
Amen.
We're glad he's here. In closing, we just want to say again, thank you for having us. It's a beautiful event. I see so many other people I can't mention because there's so many of you guys out here. But it's a great event. This is a Lifetime Achievement Award for the athletes in Linden. And we do want to mention Will, Reynolds, and Lee Bridges because they're both deceased. Willie Ball.
Willie Ball.
That's what he's trying to show you.
That Willie Ball. Willie Ball. That Willie Ball.
So in closing, thank you very much for having us here at the event to take our place with the other great athletes in the city. And we hope to be here next year for the next class that's inducted. Thank you very much.
82 got juice.
Can you get everybody, sir? Yes. Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay. As mentioned, we have a very, very tight schedule. We're going to continue with the program. Congratulations again to the 1982 boys basketball team. Next up is the 1985 football team. The 1985 Linden High School football team captured the North 2 Group 3 state championship with a dominant 9-2 season, establishing a legacy of toughness, discipline, and teamwork under head coach James Bucky McDonald. Known for their stifling defense and balanced offense, this team set a standard of excellence that continues to inspire Linden football to this day. Let's welcome the 1985 Linden football team. Speaking on behalf of the team is John Blassingame and Mike Rembish.
Well, to begin, I'm just going to start off, and then I'm going to hand it over to our team captain. But for me, it's so much emotion for this night with so many of my brothers, especially this year, not being here. That's why I had to come, you know. But that 1985 Linden State Championship team was something special. When I talk about so many stars that was on that team, but when I talk about a team that had no ego, there was a famous basketball player who said, practice. What's practice? I just gonna play. But I tell you what, if you stepped on that field for practice, 1985, with the Linden, you might as well say 85 Chicago Bears defense, you was gonna lose something close to your life. So in that regard, like I say, to be up here one more time with my brothers and with this guy right here, who I had also the privilege to come back and be an assistant coach with and do some pretty doggone good things. And he was also one of the he was a rookie head coach at that day. We was the seniors, he was the rookie, but he was just as crazy as us. He was the perfect coach for the perfect storm. And I was also blessed to have him as my linebacker coach. And I'm quite sure he could attest. His problem was more of, are these guys gonna kill themselves and each other before the game? But by the end of the season, he knew, hey, the game was gonna be easy because we was gonna leave it all on the field. And I was privileged to sit with Robbie, the great Shaheed Willis, and see his son. And I had to look at him 10 times to say, Robbie, how'd you still looking so you looking like we just left Seoul Junior High School? But this is why it's so emotional for me. And like I say, that season, in a nutshell, we learned, number one, we came in picked not to win one game. Now, how you gonna disrespect us and say you're not gonna win one game? But the conference and the county was loaded that year. I believe 5 state champions in every district came out of Union County that year. So it was loaded. So to do what we did in the dominating fashion that we did it in, even in the games that we didn't come out on top, we dominated defensively. So that by the time that we did go to the state championship game, I don't know what the rank of the defending champions that we faced in their field, but I know that they knew who Big L rocked their house was and took the championship. Linden's first. And to close with those guys, like, man, those are my brothers, the guys on those 82 teams, and the Aaron Howards and the Calvin Duncan. These were it didn't matter what sport you played. If you was from Linden and you were successful, we all looked at you and like, that's what we can reach for. That's what Linden means. And we all reached back. They gave back. I know they gave back to us. We gave back to the next generation. That's why when the 2014 team, which I'll look at as our little brothers, that's why we all came back and we poured as much as we could into them. And we're so proud of them. Man, and like I say, my heart is full. I'm just so privileged to be here, to see this tonight, and to feel with my brothers one more time. And I remember we used to come out like the Spartans. We used to come out by twos. Silent and violent was our thing. And when we first came out, people were laughing. Look at the girl, they holding hands, they go. And we had an old, and my brother Hawk here we would always talk about it. We had an old World War II jet fighter pilot that lived in Linden. And unfortunately, I'm gonna say what he said, all right? But he used to rile us up. And he would wait for us to come out 2 by 2, silent and violent. People like, look at that girl, oh. And he would say, I'm sorry if anybody's gonna be offended. It's not a bad cuss, but. And he would just be out there all gnarled up and bent over, but you could feel the fight in him. And he would say, get out there and break balls, Tigers. And man, oh, we would lose it. And that's just what we would do. And I'm gonna turn this over to my captain.
So that's a tough act to follow, I'll tell you that right now. So I would just say, this guy and many other guys, we started playing football together at 8 years old, right? So it just came up together every season, junior high, all the way through to high school. And it was just an amazing time. I'm just gonna share a quick story, and then we'll get down. But it was the state championship game. We're playing West Morris state championship game. We're warming up on the field, and this was their field, their hometown, and they had the roster of our team, and they're making fun of everybody's names as we're going off the field, right? Everybody remembers that. So they're making fun of us as we're going off the field. We go in the locker room. That was a big mistake. It was a big mistake. And I'll tell you, the emotion in that locker room at that time, tears, hugs, everything. Game was over. They never had a chance. So they had a star running back named John Caroli, who I actually played in the North-South game with, and I got to give him a hard time the whole time. But John was an all-state running back. He got the ball the first time. We knocked him back 12 yards, 11 helmets on the ball. Everybody hit him, game was over. So I just want to say it's been a really long time since I've been back, but I wouldn't have missed this for the world. And getting to see like guys I haven't seen in over 30 years, it's just truly amazing. And I really want to thank the Hall of Fame and everybody for having us here. It's truly an honor to be here, and I want to just thank everybody. Take care.
All right, congratulations one more time to the 1985 football team. Our final team is the 2014 football team. The 2014 Linden High School football team captured the North 2 Group 5 state championship, ending a 29-year title drought with a remarkable 10-2 season that showcased talent, discipline, and teamwork. Led by head coach Dion Candia and a dedicated staff, this team's dominant offense, stifling defense, and unyielding unity made them a lasting symbol of Linden pride and excellence. Would the 2014 team please come forward? Speaking on behalf of the 2014 state championship football team is assistant coach Al Chiola. It's good to see you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. It's tough to follow up that 85 team. They just challenged us to a game of two-hand touch outside. I think they got us. Thank you, Mr. Firestone, Mayor Armstead, Dr. Perkins, Hall of Fame Committee, Board of Ed for getting us together tonight. Congratulations to all the inductees tonight. Just a few specifically. Coach Bucky and your 1985 championship team. Congratulations. You, your coaches, your players, you paved the way for all of us that followed, especially the championship players and coaches that are up here right now. As an assistant coach, it was an honor for me and many of our coaches to sit down with you, Bucky, to talk football every once in a while. And you know, your pregame speech versus North Hunterdon in that season still kind of resonates with all of us. Coach Candia, congratulations on your individual induction as well as the 2014 team. You know, thank you for allowing me to speak on behalf of this team. Coach Candia that year guided us all during that special season, and it wasn't just your ability to motivate and to train us and mentor these young men that stands apart, but it was your ability to always remain calm. I got to tell you, you know, I followed Coach Candia as a head coach, and let me tell you something, it was not easy. But, you know, whether we were on the sideline, in the locker room, or the coach's office, and regardless of what was going on around us, your calming presence, your confident demeanor were vital that season. You know, especially in some of our come-from-behind victories, our bad Thanksgiving Day loss in the snow, or even when that team to the north tied the game with 3 minutes to go. To the 2012 and 2013 teams, you know, some of the players up here were on those teams, but to those who weren't, I think Sam's up here somewhere, thank you. Both those teams, 2012 and 2013, they lost in the semifinals. And it was their desire to win and work hard that really helped our championship run in 2014. It's an incredible honor to stand here tonight as we celebrate the 2014 team. That season wasn't just special because of the wins and the records. It was special because of the players and the coaches. From the first day of summer workouts, this group showed a level of commitment and brotherhood that you could feel right away. We excelled as a team, from the starters to the role players, everybody bought in. Many sacrificed personal accomplishments for their team. Our quarterback, Jawan Dolbrice, was asked to move from starting tailback to quarterback over the summer. And it wasn't easy for him. And he made the move almost without hesitation. You know, it took a little bit of persuasion from Coach Rhino to get him convinced. But once he made that switch, he worked hard to be the best quarterback on the field. Kyle and Gerv, both extremely talented tailbacks. Each of them sacrificed carries for the other. We had so many talented players on both sides of the ball, regardless of who had the ball in their hands. Whoever scored, whoever made a tackle, they cheered for each other, they celebrated for each other, and they were just together as a family. They were relentless in their commitment to the team, and every player, every practice, every game, they worked and played for each other, their coaches, and their community. You know, the results speak for themselves. We had a 10-win season. We finished number 1 in Union County, number 19 in the Star Ledger. We were undefeated in the Watchung Conference. We had several players break individual school records. Kyle rushed for over 1,600 yards and 21 touchdowns. Jawan Dolbrice, you know, he was a 1,000-yard rusher as a tailback his sophomore and junior year. His senior year, he rushed for 900 yards as a quarterback, threw for 1,100 yards, and he accounted for 21 total touchdowns. Tymir Hinton, he led our defense, 100 tackles, 17 for a loss, 4 interceptions. Offensively, we were dominant. You know, we called them our big dogs. Danny, Jarrell, Wilner, Max, the Coons with Greg. Our O-line paved the way. We averaged 26 points a game. We rushed for 3,000 yards, and we threw for over 1,200 yards. And as good as our offense was, our defense was even better. Was one of the most feared defenses in Union County and in our section. We gave up only 16 points a game. We finished with 28 sacks, 96 tackles for a loss, 11 interceptions. We had 7 players with 50 or more tackles. Khalil, Jatish, Samad, Greg, Gerv, Antoine Maslin. They combined for 400 tackles, 60 for a loss, and 22 sacks. It was a pretty incredible season on both sides of the ball. And, you know, our special teams, you know, they say special teams wins games. And, you know, for those of you that watched it that season, our special teams came up huge, especially in the biggest spot at MetLife Stadium. Whether it was offense or defense, the young men handled every challenge with grit and determination. They won with class and humility, and they played with a lot of passion and emotion. As coaches, we had a front row seat to something special. We watched our team become a family, leave its mark on school history. And what I remember the most isn't really the scoreboard, it's kind of those moments in between. You know, the early mornings in the weight room, running the stairs at the high school, the bus ride home, the laughter, the music in the locker room post-game. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It really was. But what's sticks out most about this group is they refused to give up when things got tough. And as a team, they never doubted their teammates, their coaches, or even themselves. And to the players, you know, you set a standard for what it means to wear the Linden uniform. You left your mark, you made history, you showed future teams what's possible when talent meets teamwork, when preparation meets belief, and what Coach Candia would always say, you know, when hard work beats talent, when talent doesn't work. But, you know, these guys really had both. They worked their asses off, and they were extremely talented. And to my fellow coaches up here with me, thank you for your countless hours, the early Saturday mornings, the guidance, the passion you poured into every player. You know, the team was tight, but the staff was just as tight. We laughed a lot. We probably argued a lot more, but we were a family. And to the parents, the family, the community, thank you for believing in this team, filling the stands every Friday night. And, you know, 11 years later, the memories are still strong, and the lessons from that season continue to live. And, you know, it was a family, a legacy that we'll never forget, and you guys define what it means to be a Linden Tiger. So congratulations, guys.
I was going to wait to speak until it was my turn. But I want to say this. The full connection of this was me having a blueprint on what a championship team should look like. In 1987, I entered high school But before I got to high school and middle school, I used to want to leave middle school practice early to stand on top of the bleachers and watch that 85 team practice. So when people ask me, how did we get to where we are? I just modeled what I seen from the top of the bleachers. I knew that I needed a tough line. I knew I needed a fast running back like Tony Purcell. I knew I needed a wide receiver like James Baker. I knew I needed a hard hitter like John Blasingame. I knew all these names and all these people, so it was easy for me to fit this mold into these young men. And this was what I call Linden football. So once they understood the tradition, it was easy to coach these guys. And like what was said, it was a lot of fun and it was hard work, but we came together as a family. And because of that, you know, we're stuck together forever. Love you guys.
I cheered that year.
All right, congratulations again to the 2014 football team. I would now like to introduce our sports contributors. A sports contributor is an individual or group who has helped to develop and foster the growth of athletes within the Linden High School athletic community. Our first inductee is Dr. Kathleen Starling, who unfortunately passed away on March 23rd, 2021. Dr. Kathleen Starling was a dynamic educator, community advocate, and beloved mentor whose passion for service and education left a lasting impact on everyone she met. A proud Linden High School graduate, she dedicated over 30 years to uplifting students and communities through her leadership, compassion, and unwavering commitment to inclusive education. Speaking on behalf of Dr. Kathleen Starling is Mo Starling.
Good evening, family, friends, and acquaintances. I'm here with my aunt, Cynthia Starling. From adolescence, my grandmother's daughters always dreamed big. Cynthia wanted to be a computer wizard, Ella a stenographer, Cheryl a nurse, and Kathleen a doctor, in whatever field she chose to be in. Some of them achieved that dream, and some took different paths. But each became proud young ladies raising their families with the help of each other. Aunt Kathleen aspired for more. From her accolades in sports, multiple degrees, and eventually her doctorate, to several other accomplishments, none overshadowing the other, but all equally as impressive. As her niece, I am so proud to have her doctorate robe in my home because she made such an outstanding impression on me and my family and always ensured that I excelled in everything that I did. On behalf of her last living sister, my Aunt Cynthia, thank you for recognizing her greatness, her great achievements, and we know she'd be proud and smiling from ear to ear. Thank you.
Thank you again, and congratulations. Our next sports contributor is Lawrence L.J. McGee. Lawrence L.J. McGee exemplifies Linden excellence as an athlete, educator, mentor, and community leader whose dedication has shaped generations of students and athletes. From his standout basketball career at Linden High School and Pace University to his ongoing service in education and youth mentorship, LJ's leadership and commitment have made a lasting impact on the Linden community. Let's welcome LJ to the podium.
I did have a long speech, but in the interest of time. Good evening, everyone. First, I want to thank the Linden Board of Education and the Linden Hall of Fame Committee for this honorable accomplishment. I want to thank my family over there. I was fortunate to grow up in this town, in this community, and it means a lot to me to be able to give back to the place that helped raise me. There are so many others who should be standing up here with me because I didn't do it alone. But there are so many others who should be standing up here alone with me. But I'm thankful, I'm grateful, and I appreciate the opportunity to be in the Hall of Fame and continue to give back to my community. Thank you, guys.
Okay, congratulations again, Mr. L.J. McGee. We're going to now transition to our coaches. These individuals have dedicated countless hours to guiding, mentoring, and inspiring their athletes, not only helping them succeed in competition, but also shaping their character and work ethic beyond the field. Their leadership and commitment have left a lasting impact on the Linden athletic community. Our first inductee is Sherry Pisano-Werhan. Sherry is a trailblazing athlete and coach whose excellence on the field and in the classroom has left a lasting impact on generations of student athletes. From her standout performances in softball and basketball to building a dominant high school bowling program. Sherry's leadership, dedication, and pioneering spirit have cemented her legacy in Linden and beyond. Let's welcome Sherry to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. I was informed by my former athletes back there that I needed to be loud because they couldn't hear anything. So I said, do you know who you're talking to? Congratulations to all the inductees. This is truly humbling and it's an honor to be standing here in front of you tonight. First thing I need to do is just thank my parents because being a female coach, having 2 sons, they really stepped up to the plate for me and helped me raise my 2 boys. Love my boys, my husband, Chris, and I want to thank all my friends and family that came. It truly means the world to me that you're here. When you talk about impact, I think about not the wins and the losses. I think about the relationships that I have with my athletes. And let me tell you, there's no better feeling in the world when you get that phone call, I'm getting married, I'm having a baby, which I just went and saw. 2 of my former bowlers just had babies, and it's just so wonderful and blessed to be able to share that with them. You know, sports teaches you how to get through in life, and I'm going to use the word resilience. Because, you know, life's not easy, and you go through hard times, and you have to learn how to navigate that. I want to thank my high school coach, Kathy Matthews, who's a trailblazer herself with her 700 wins. Coach, thanks so much for teaching me how to get through the hard parts and building my morals and my values and my character. Everything that I gave to Linden came from Coach Matthews, so I need to really thank her for that. Again, thank you all for coming tonight, and congratulations.
Our next inductee is James Bucky McDonald. James Bucky McDonald is a legendary figure in Linden High School athletics, whose 36-year coaching career across football, track, and cross country shaped generations of student athletes. From leading Linden to its first state championship football under the modern playoff system to developing future NFL players and state champions, Bucky's leadership, dedication, and mentorship have left an enduring legacy of excellence and pride. Let's welcome Bucky to the podium.
First, I would like to thank the Linden Hall of Fame and the Hall of Fame Committee. I would also like to congratulate our 2025 new Hall of Fame inductees. Congratulations to our 1985 and 2014 state championship football teams, our 1982 boys basketball, and 1961 boys cross country team for their induction. I would like to thank the Linden Athletic Department and Athletic Director Mike Firestone and his staff for all their hard work putting together this special event. I think you should get a nice round of applause for that. It's a lot of work. I am deeply honored to be inducted into the Linden Hall of Fame. To be included among the legends that helped shape Linden High School sports is both humbling and extremely gratifying. This recognition means the world to me, and I'm forever grateful. I couldn't have achieved this award without the support and help of many people. I would just like to take this opportunity to say thanks. First, to my mom and my dad for teaching me about hard work, for teaching me about family, and for teaching me to always do the right thing. To Coach Joe Martino, thanks for giving me an opportunity after I graduated from college to become a volunteer football coach at Colonia High School. That was the fall of 1975. That's a long time ago. That's 50 years. In 1977, we were both at Rollway High School coaching. Then in 1978, we came to Linden. We came to Linden for one reason, and one reason only. That was to coach football. And we did that to the best of our abilities. I coached football for the next 28 seasons. I was blessed to have worked with so many hard-working, dedicated coaches who loved the game. They were outstanding teachers of the game, and more importantly, they cared about the well-being of the players. I'm very proud of the fact that 6 of my assistant coaches went on to become head football coaches. It shows the caliber of coaches we had here in Linden. I would also like to thank all the track coaches that I worked with during my 36 seasons of winter and spring track. Again, dedicated coaches who love the sport and are willing to put the time in that track demanded. To all the coaches, thanks for your guidance and wisdom. It was invaluable. To all the players that graced our fields and facilities, you are the heart and soul of all these programs. It's through your hard work, dedication, and passion that this was all made possible. I'm incredibly proud of each and every one of you. Football and high school sports teach valuable life lessons. It's not about the wins or the losses, although the wins felt pretty good at the time. It's more about teamwork, commitment, perseverance, and leadership, and discipline. That's the stuff that's going to live on, and that's the stuff that really matters. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the administration, all the superintendents, building principals, my friend Barry Black, vice principals, faculty members, for always supporting all the athletes and teams. To the athletic department, especially Joe Martino, Steve Yacinko, and their support staff, Pat Sepp, Kelly Cozio, and Diane Dertinger, for always making that job easier. Thanks to our maintenance department of Max, Adam, Bobby, and Ray for doing all that hard work getting the AA field ready each season. That's when it was grass. To our training staff, Steve, Vianney, Marissa, Roger, and Tom, thanks for your dedication and care for all the athletes. I have coached many years. I've taken a lot of bus rides. But when you have a chance to coach athletes, like the ones that are being inducted into tonight's Hall of Fame, such as a Dion Candia, a Desmond Wade, a Jonathan Pettit Holmes, or that 1985 football team, it makes it all worthwhile because they are all the standard of excellence that we strive for each and every season as a coach. What I'll remember most about this moment is that I got a chance to say thanks to to all the people that helped me along the way. It's a journey I couldn't have taken by myself. So thank you all, and from my heart to your heart, go Linden forever. I would just like to introduce my number one team, and that's my family. I want to start with my sister Rose. She's had my back her whole entire life, and I love her. My brother-in-law, Bob, her husband. My daughter, Cal. She's in her 24th year of teaching already. Time flies. Her husband, Sean. Their 3 children, our grandchildren, JP, Molly, and Kelsey. My son, Jim. He was that little guy that was running up and down the bleachers with the number 2 jersey on. My son, Dan. He's sitting at my desk. And he coached the tracks after I left. And within 10 years, he and his coaches and his athletes replaced about 80% of our record board. So congratulations to Dan, his coaches, and his athletes for an outstanding job. Next to Dan is his wife, Amy, and I'm very happy. The whole family's excited. We have a new little Bucky coming in January. So we're happy about that. Their 2 children couldn't be here tonight, our 2 other grandchildren, Cece and Jackson. But I'd just like to give him a shout out. And finally, my son, Kev. Kev, he works in public works in the town that he grew up in, and he worked at Linden a little bit, and he worked with the special needs kids across the street for a couple of years, and he worked the clock at the basketball games and the wrestling matches. And finally, my wife, Nance. She was the glue that held everything together because I coached a lot of seasons and I missed a lot. I was missing in action, especially when the kids were small. And I missed every opening, closing ceremony of Little League Baseball, boys soccer, basketball, flag football. I was never around. I was always coaching then because games were on Saturday and track meets were on Saturday, so I missed a lot. And she never complained. She just did her thing, and she went on to have a Hall of Fame career herself in Middlesex County. And I think that's it. But thank you very much, Linden. It's been a great journey, and it was the best time of my life coaching football. I love coaching defense, the way we played it, and I think it was the players that brought it out of me. And things I talk about all the time, and I'll never forget, and I was really blessed. And that's it.
Congratulations again, Coach Bucky McDonald. At this time, I would like to recognize our athlete inductees. These 6 outstanding individuals represent the heart of Linden athletics, talented competitors who demonstrated dedication, sportsmanship, and excellence in their respective sports. Their achievements have brought pride to our school and continue to inspire future generations of student athletes. Our first athlete is Otis Livingston II. Otis Livingston II left an unforgettable mark on Linden High School basketball, leading the Tigers to state and county championships while earning numerous all-state and all-county honors. Continuing his success at George Mason University and now as a professional player overseas, Otis exemplifies leadership, skill, and dedication both on and off the court, representing Linden with pride on the international stage. Otis is currently playing professional basketball overseas and unfortunately could not be here with us this evening. We are honored to have his father, Otis Livingston Sr., here to speak on his behalf. Let's welcome him to the podium.
I'm going to take 2 of LJ's minutes since he didn't use them. But Otis sends his love. He wishes that he could be here. And he wants to say thank you so much for the committee for bringing up the Hall of Fame inductions. And he's so proud to be a part of this year's class. He wants to congratulate everyone that's honored tonight, especially Dez, his boy, you know, born on October 12th, just like Otis. They have a great friendship. Special shout out to Dez's father, Kaz, because Kaz had a vision for my son that I didn't even have at that time. And he kept in my ear, kept in my wife's ear about what he thought he could be here at Linden High School. And it turned out that he was a prophet at that time. So thank you so much. He's a big part of why we're here tonight. Special thanks to the Linden community for embracing our family as we came from South Orange, New Jersey. It was a perfect marriage. We became introduced to Linden basketball through Dennis and Peanut's mom, the Linden Ballers through AAU. So we knew that the reputation was well-deserved of toughness, and that's what our son was. Currently is, I'm sorry. He is. He still is. At that time, he was. Okay. But anyway, special thanks to the coaches that had such an impact on his life. Starting with Phil Colicchio, of course, and just the impact that he had, and it extended past his time at Linden High School. Phil was instrumental in Otis getting to George Mason University and continuing his career. So we thank Phil for that. And I remember a conversation a little over 11 years ago in Phil's office. And we're talking about everything when we're thinking about making the move from that other school. And Phil's talking to us about what he thinks about the TOC. He's a missing piece. He can be a big part of this and all that stuff. And then he said to me, he said, but I gotta let you know, Otis is not gonna start for me. I think pretty highly of my son. so that struck me as, wait a minute, what do you mean? I didn't say that, obviously, but inside I was feeling like, what's... But he said, I got kids that have been in my program for years. They've come up, and they're in my program. They're on my team. I can't just do that. And it knocked me back for a second, but it actually made me respect Phil even more. because of that loyalty. We were coming from a place that there was no loyalty and there was no love and support like that. So to see that, how can I get upset and say, no, I'm not coming? No, that made me want to come even more. And so it was the easiest decision that we could make. And as I said, Phil and the coaches, they continue to love and support my son throughout his career here and even past that. So special thank you to them as well. This is such a tremendous honor, and Otis said to tell you guys that it was an honor to wear the Linden uniform for those years and to win those big games and play in those big games. Again, once we came from a certain school to here, we wanted to stay in Union County to go head to head with a certain school and to do some damage to them and we realized that Union County was the toughest county in the state. And to be able to win that, win the county championships, to win the states, to play in the TOC, Marcellus and Otis played in 3 state championships in 4 years and won 3 or 4. So that's an honor as well. And my youngest son, Marquise, also was able to put on that Linden uniform. So we're extremely proud of that. So we thank you all, and go Tigers.
Thank you, and congratulations again to Otis Livingston II. Our second inductee is Roy Mickens. Roy Mickens, a 1962 graduate of Linden High School, was a phenomenal multi-sport athlete whose senior year remains one of the most remarkable in school history. Excelling in soccer, basketball, and track, with state championships and all-county honors. Roy's versatility, athleticism, and record-setting performances set a standard of excellence that continues to inspire Linden athletes today. Let's give Roy a big welcome.
Hello, everyone. I really don't even know what to say because I didn't write nothing down. But I just want to thank the committee and everyone that had anything to do with me getting into this here Hall of Fame. You know, I'm not going to mention any names because there were so many people have helped me. Everyone that I played sports with, they helped me because they told me when I messed up, they told me when I did good and everything, but it was those guys that made me what I am today. You know, as far as sports is concerned, they helped me, they did everything in their power, you know, to help me do everything. I'll mention one name, my mother. Dorothy Mickens. She made sure that I go to school every day. She wasn't going to let me quit. I was going to quit school. She wasn't going to let me quit. She stayed on my back so much that she's the reason I'm here today. You know? And to my family and friends, my children, my great-grandsons back there, my great-grand, kids and everything. Hey, all I have to say to you is, you and all the other young folks, stay in school and get education. Okay? I had a chance to go to college with scholarships for soccer, for track, but I was young, like they say, where I come from, young and dumb, and I didn't go. But I want to install in them and every young kid, you have to get an education to make it in this world. You got to get a piece of paper, or you got to get out there and look and see and learn what you can learn. But the first thing you have to do, you have to go to school. That's good. There's nothing, you can't do anything without education. Because without education, you don't even know. So I want to install in everybody, especially the young folks, like, my grandkids and great-grandkids, go to school, get the education, and you can go places. I have a grandson that played for Linden High School. Okay, he went to Bloomfield College. One day he calls me and tells me he plays basketball. He said one day he called and told me, he said, "Grandpa, I'm going to Alaska." Alaska? When I was playing ball, we never left Union County. I said, that's good. He played for Bloomfield College. I said, that's good. I told him, I said, you go get your education and you can go places and you can do things. And again, I would like to thank everyone that made this possible for me today. Thank you.
Congratulations again to Roy Mickens. Our third inductee is Desmond Wade. A four-year basketball standout at Linden High School, Desmond helped lead the Tigers to 2 Group 4 state championships and multiple Union County titles. A first-team All-State and Star Ledger Union County Player of the Year. He continued his career at the University of Houston and Fairfield. Later playing professionally in the United States, Canada, and Germany. Desmond's skill, leadership, and dedication left a lasting legacy in Linden basketball. Let's welcome Desmond to the podium.
Good evening. First, I want to thank Mr. Firestone and the committee for inducting me into the Hall of Fame. I want to thank my family and friends for being there, supporting me through good times, bad times. I want to thank my teammates that I played with. I had some very great teammates. I think they should be up here with me because they was a big help in my success. To the coaches, that helped me succeed and helped us win games was also a big help. It was just an honor to be here and to be around some great people and just to see the love and support that Linden is all about. The community is great here. I can't think, my 4 years playing here was great. It was great. I'm overwhelmed a little bit about, just seeing everybody here and just grateful to be here, and I want to thank God for everything. I appreciate everybody and all their support. My mom, my dad, everybody that was just there for me throughout my years. It's just a blessing. I want to thank everybody for coming, and I appreciate everything. Thank you.
Our next inductee is Aaron Howard. A standout athlete at Linden High School, Aaron led the Tigers to conference and state championships and earned multiple first-team honors. At Villanova, he was a 4-year starter, co-captain, and co-MVP, helping the team win a Big East title and reach the NCAA Elite Eight. Drafted by the Knicks, the New York Knicks, he combined athletic excellence with academic achievement, leaving a lasting legacy of leadership and skill. Let's welcome Aaron to the podium.
All right, good evening, everybody. And, I got to tell you, from looking out and seeing all the faces here and all the support, it means everything to me, and I appreciate everybody being here. And thanks a lot to Michael and the committee for inducting me, and congratulations to all the other inductees. When I first picked up a ball as a kid, I had no idea where it was going to lead me to. And certainly didn't think it was going to lead me here standing in front of all of you. But, you come up, you're on the basketball court, and all I wanted to do was just play with my friends. Play with my friends, try to get better, and earn some respect on the court. And that's what it was about. And basketball for me turned out to be more than a game. It was a springboard to opportunity. And I couldn't have imagined as a kid where it was going to take me. And in addition to being a springboard, in a lot of ways it was a classroom. And I learned a lot of life lessons that I was able to take with me through life, including things like effort, focus, and heart. The courts where I played coming up, School 4, St. Mark's, 4th Ward, the Palm, PAL, with all of you. I see a lot of people I came up with. It wasn't just a basketball court. For me, it also was an opportunity for me, growing up in a household with just older sisters, and going out on the court, I met my brothers there. And Some of them are sitting over at the table now who came up to support me. Coming up from Virginia, Calvin Duncan, Gordy Austin, got Meech Kaluch over there, Tommy Mazer, all great teammates of mine. I'm going to talk a little more about the teams that we had coming up. But some of the older ones coming up, I see Fred Short here, Larry McGee, and I'll tell you about Larry. I didn't get a chance to see Fred playing, but I'll tell you about Larry McGee though. When I went to, we were coming up from McManus, we'd get out of practice some days a little early and we'd come up and see the high school games, and walking into that gym and seeing Larry, Al Bakunis, Vion Lassiter, Dennis McLeod. I thought it was like we were walking into Madison Square Garden. And I couldn't imagine the Knicks being any better than those guys. You know, and it was an amazing feeling, and we were all just saying, you know, me and my teammates and my little McManus guys, that, you know, one day this is gonna be us up here on the big court under the bright lights. And that's kind of how we came up. And I can still remember like the buzz and the energy on game day. And it was just an exciting time, looking up in the stands, seeing classmates, friends, neighbors, everybody's all cheering us on. And it was a real special time. And thinking back to those times, one of the things I wish, and I talk about this with my friends a lot of times, I wish there was videos of some of our games. You know, because the kids now, you know, they got videos of all their clips and all the games and all. We don't have any of those. And one of the things I always say that I'd love to be able to see is just the pace that we were playing in. And I say the pace because, and it sounds amazing to me now when I think back of it, but we averaged 90 points a game. Yeah, 90. 8-minute quarters. Right. And no 3-point line. And no 3-point line. So I'd love to go back and see what the heck we were doing, that we were scoring 90 points a game. And there were two games where the teams, we had a great team, and I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the team. There were two games, the teams wouldn't play us. They stalled, there was no shot clock, so they stalled and hold the game, hold the ball. We had a 28-point game, and we had a 12-point game where the teams just wouldn't play us. And I remember in the 12-point game, it was by the third quarter and I hadn't taken a shot yet. And I'm like, I gotta get a shot up. So I took one shot and I missed it. And I thought, oh gosh, that could be the game. Because this is a close game. But, you know, I played with a lot of great guys. As I said, they became more than my teammates. They were my brothers. And, you know, we played fast-paced. We were a big team. I mean, we basically was 6'7", 6'6" across the front line. Particularly back then, I see high school teams now, which is a lot bigger. You know, a lot bigger now. But back then, we were known as a big team, but we weren't, you know, a lot of people get the impression we were probably a big walk it up, post up. We ran, we pressed, we ran. We were big, we were fast, we were athletic. We rebound, probably our strength was rebounding. The opposition got one shot. We took pride in that. They got one shot, we got multiple shots. We pretty much just keep tapping it up playing volleyball until somebody tapped it in. And we were, we were known as the Big Three, my teammates, and I want to mention them too. Rest in peace to my teammates who aren't here, Fred Garland and Darryl Devereaux. And those were my brothers, and they passed on. And I wish they were here now. And there's one thing I can say, not to be off topic, but there were three of us. I'm fortunate that Darryl was inducted before he passed away. And I wish Roosevelt would be inducted too, because there were three. And we came up from school for probably in the 4th grade playing together. And you didn't see one of us without seeing the other. So if it's gonna happen for Rosie,
no question.
If it's gonna happen for Rosie, I hope it happens soon, because we ain't getting any younger, you know? So make it happen, please. And I told him that. I think he's just as deserving as Darryl or myself to be standing here one day, so hopefully it happens. I'm gonna mention also about my teammates. I'm so proud of the fact that on our high school team, we had 6 Division I players from our 78 team. Myself at Villanova, Darryl Devereaux at Seton Hall, Roosevelt Peoples at Morehead State, Calvin Duncan, who's here, was a Hall of Famer at VCU. Gordy Austin, I still think he's the all-time assist holder at American University. And John Katoulis, who I understand, who had a ticket to be here tonight, but had pneumonia, so let's keep him in our thoughts and prayers, was at St. Peter's. So that's something we're real proud of. And the thing about that I'm most proud about saying that, all homegrown people, all homegrown, nobody moved in, no transfers. We all came up through the elementary schools, through Linden PAL, through Soul and McManus, through the high school. And this is a fact about the team that I just really became aware of when somebody mentioned it to me. 3 NBA draft picks. Myself, Calvin, Gordy Austin. But for us, it wasn't just about winning, it was about us. We didn't just play ball, we lived ball, night and day. Particularly this guy right here, and I can tell you some stories about him that would crack you up. We competed hard, we cared hard, we took serious playing for our families, our school, and our community, and our city. Afterwards, the path for me after basketball led into sales and marketing career positions in New York City, Richmond, Philly, Boston. I moved around a lot, but all the things I took with me, the lessons that I learned in Linden. Moving back to Linden as a caregiver, shout out to all the caregivers. I know Sharon's a caregiver, my man Don and Twala sitting now, so if you were in that position, much respect to you. And just understand, everybody's not built for that. Everybody can't do it, so much respect to the people who did. Came back, just wanted to be involved in the community, moving back to Linden. Did community service, recognition events, summer camps, after school programs, taught history courses at Union County, and I'm still substitute teaching now at Linden High School. And one of the things I always say is that you gotta help young people build some confidence. And that's one of the things that sports and being on a team did for me. As a quiet, shy, bashful kid, being accepted by my friends and teammates meant a lot to me. And I always advise any kids I talk to, join a team. Whether it's basketball, football, baseball, track and field, wrestling, volleyball, soccer, whatever, get on a team. And there's a lot of life lessons to be learned that way, and you'll never regret it. So tonight's recognition isn't just about me, it's about my family, friends, coaches, teammates, and everybody who worked to lift me up. So I thank you all for being here. And in closing, once a Tiger, always a Tiger.
Okay. If everyone can please quiet down, we have 2 more inductees. Please settle down. We know everyone's excited. Thank you and congratulations again to Aaron Howard. Our next inductee is Micah Jonathan Pettit Holm. Micah is one of Linden High School's most accomplished track and field athletes, holding 5 school records and earning 3 meetup championship appearances. A 2012 North 2 Group 4 sectional champion in the 400-meter hurdles, he continued his success at LIU Brooklyn as a 3-time NCAA All-American. Now, as the boys' head track and field coach at Linden High School, Micah inspires the next generation of athletes while leaving a lasting legacy on and off the track. Let's welcome Micah to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. Just want to thank God for this opportunity real quick. Without him, I don't think I'll be here. Want to thank the Athletic Hall of Fame Committee and the Board of Education and anyone who took part of it. As you guys may know, my name is Micah Jonathan Pettit Holm, but most of you guys do know me by JoJo. As I sat down and just heard almost every speech, I think the most thing that I'm going to remember is also being inducted with my head coach, Old McDonald. And I call him Old McDonald because at that time when I was in high school, I had his dad and his son coaching me. So I had Old McDonald and I had Baby Bucky coaching me. Now I promise I will keep it as short as possible. I started off as a short sprinter, believe it or not. But then somehow, both of the McDonalds plotted against me and made me a mid-distance runner. And it all worked out. It all worked out. During my high school career, balancing track with my parents' strict religious beliefs wasn't always easy. But I had coaches who respected and completely understood, and I'm grateful that they did that. There were some good races, bad races, and some questionable workouts that made me think Baby Bucky was trying to kill me. Just to think of one on the top of my head, there was one workout. If you know the field house, the track is 400 meters. One of the workouts he made me do, and I will forever remember this, I had 24 times 200, and I had 32 seconds to hit each and every one of them. If I didn't hit one of them, it did not count. But luckily, I stayed true to it, and I finished the workout. Not only was his dad and Baby Bucky trying to kill me, I had Coach Devereaux, which was my hurdles coach. So I had days where I had, sprinting workouts and mid-distance workouts, and then I had days where I had pure hurdle workouts, and there were days where I was doing both at the same time. There were days where I questioned, why did I sign up for this? Sometimes walking back from the field house to the high school, I would catch cramp crossing the street, crawling on the floor, making sure that I don't get hit by a car. It was bad, but it was all worth it. Just want to thank a couple of people real quick. To Old McDonald and Baby Bucky, thank you for laying down the foundation for me as an athlete and for respecting my beliefs, even when I couldn't compete on certain days. You always found a way to make sure I still got a quality workout and quality meets that I need to grow into the best athlete that I can be at Linden High School. To Coach Dev, which is not here, thank you for teaching me that it's okay to fail, as long as I bounce back stronger. You always reassured me that 2 practices a day was normal and that there's beauty in pain. There's no beauty in pain. To Coach Brooks, he wasn't actually my coach, he was the throwers coach. But this man took time out of his day coaching his athletes or watching his kid compete to come and watch me. Unfortunately, Coach Brooks is no longer with us, but I just want to say thank you for everything on and off the track. On the track, you made sure mentally I was ready and that I knew I was one of the best athletes. Off the track, you made sure that my grades, college application, FAFSA were handled. He wasn't my assigned guidance counselor, but this guy took his time to call me to his office to make sure all my grades, all my college applications, I didn't miss any days, were handled, and I'm so grateful for that. I got 2 more people to thank, and then I promise I'm done. To Mr. Martin, I know you guys know who Mr. Martin is. He's been like a father to me since my father passed away. If I could create a separate ceremony just to honor this man, I would do it a million times. From my senior year till now, you've guided, supported, and mentored me. You saw the man that my parents prayed that I become. You've been a coach and a mentor from watching me graduate high school and college, to volunteering at Long Island University, Brooklyn, to actually getting hired by my university, and now being the head coach at Linden High School. Last but not least, just an honorable mention, my deceased coach, my college coach, Coach Simon Hodnett. This guy has been a foundation for who I am as a coach. I've pestered him so many times about what should I do with certain kids, and sometimes just like, you've been with me for the last 8+ years. I'm not answering your text. Figure it out on your own. You're a grown man. You know how to coach kids. And it worked out, but that will still bother him. Family has been the heart of my story. Like I told you guys, my father passed away my sophomore year in college, so he didn't get to see me graduate, but he did get to see me graduate high school. Unfortunately, my mom also passed away my senior year in high school, 6 days after my 18th birthday. But through it all, I was blessed with amazing siblings, especially my older sister who's here with me today. She's been the backbone of my family, supporting, pushing, and reminding me that to never forget where I come from. Now, as the head coach of Linden High School track and field team, I get to pour the same love, discipline, and of course the death workouts that I've been through to my athletes, the same way it was poured into me. To everyone who's been part of the Linden track and field team or the athletics department, athletes, coaches, parents, supporters, our journey hasn't been easy, but it's always been worth it. Every early morning track meets or basketball games or practices, every tough practices, every setbacks, comebacks, built something greater than medals and school records. It built character, pride, and community. The humility and heart this program instills in us, I just praise it radiates to everyone around us. So tonight, as we celebrate the legacy of Linden Athletics in the Hall of Fame, let's remember we are all part of something bigger than all of us. Something that keeps growing every time a new athlete steps on the track or on the court, on the field, with the same fire we had. Thank you very much.
Congratulations again, JoJo. Our final inductee is Dion Candia. Dion is a Linden High School standout athlete and coach, excelling in track and football. He set the school long jump record and won a Meet of Champions title. As the head football coach, he led the 2014 team to a 10-2 record and a Watchung Division title, along with that state championship. Candia is also a longtime educator and youth mentor, founding Can Do Consulting and Mentoring Incorporated. Let's welcome Dion to the podium.
Appreciate that. Myself together here. Good evening, everyone, the Linden family and community. This is an honor. It's crazy because I see my old math teacher here, Mr. Picaro. He would be very proud of me because I did a little math homework. I tallied up all the athletes since I've been in high school that participated in sports. And since '87, there's been over 57,000 athletes who participated in Linden sports. So to be amongst the elite here is indeed a great honor, and I don't take it lightly. And if you know anything about me, you know that I love Linden. A lot of the people that are here have inspired me, not just in the sport, but in life. I grew up on Chandler Avenue, and I used to go around the corner to Charles Street Park. Charles Street had the best athletes in the world. Charles Street Park had the best athletes in the world. Now I'm saying that because I'm being a little biased. But I was privileged to be around a lot of great people and a lot of people who have led me, not just in sports, but to how to be a good community leader. I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee. I want to thank all my former teammates, and I want to thank all my former players. I want to give a special thank you to Coach Bucky McDonald. And congratulations, Coach. For my 4 years of high school, I spent 3 seasons a year with Coach McDonald, with football in both winter and spring track, so we spent a lot of time together. Coach, you helped me through a lot of things, and it was a time in high school where my family was going through some difficult times, and we were making a transition and pretty much found ourselves homeless. And I remember, you know, you just speaking up for me, and you speaking to the school and saying why I still needed to be in school and how it would help me. And that left a lasting impact on me. You had this saying that said, good things happen to good people. And I plastered that on my locker room in college just to remind me that when tough times come, to always remember that there's hope. So I appreciate you, Coach. Thank you for everything. I also want to thank a couple more people, my wife, Michelle. Definitely. There's this saying, right, when someone's been around you for a long time, they were shooting with you in the gym. She definitely would shoot with me in the gym. From the time I was 17 years old playing football to the time I was coaching my championship team. She's been there. She's been supporting of me. She's been by my side, and not only just by my side, but she got engaged and she got involved because it was something that I was passionate about, and she made it her passion. So I appreciate that. Thank you. I also want to give a thank you and shout out to both my sons, Travis and Keon. I always said I give a lot to other kids and mentoring and all that stuff, but it would never be possible if I didn't have things right at home. And I appreciate my boys. You guys have taught me how to be patient. You taught me how to be loyal. You looked at me as your heroes. And it allowed me to give and to pour into other young men. And I thank you guys for sharing me with a lot of people. I didn't mean for this to happen. I don't know what this is like. But, and I also want to thank the Linden community. Linden is a special place. I've been a lot of different places, right? And I've always bragged about what we have here in this town. And if you haven't seen it evident, if it wasn't evident tonight of what kind of love we have as a community, then something must be wrong with you. But I appreciate the Linden community, all the people that have poured into our young people, because that's near and dear to me. My whole life, I just wanted to have an impact. I got into coaching and teaching because I wanted to have an impact. And that's what it's mainly about, having an impact. I want to thank the community that helped shape me. I want to thank the people that played a big part. There's nothing greater, as what was said earlier, than when you have student athletes that want to hang out with you when you're older. I appreciate my former players. I appreciate you guys for making me cool. I appreciate the times we've had when you guys were student athletes, but then also now, how I can have you guys come over to my house. And I'm thinking of you, Ruhan, you come over, you watch the games, you bring your son Legend with you. I think of Kyle Fitz, who will come out and hang out with me going to a college game. These are relationships and bonds that are special to me. And I thank all you guys for it, and I'll never take it lightly. I'm almost finished here. I want to dedicate this award to two special people. One is a neighborhood big brother that I had growing up, and his name was Troy Tamir Clark. He was my first big brother, and he taught me how to use sports as a tool. He taught me that sports is going to be my ticket, but don't just rely on sports. So mentorship is very important. And the next person I want to dedicate this to is my mom. We won our state championship in 2014, and we had a banquet shortly after. I didn't know that 6 months after that banquet, my mom would pass away. She was able to see me win a state championship. I was able to honor her at that banquet, and that's very special. My mom was my first coach. She was very tough on me and my siblings. And at the time, I couldn't understand what she was doing or why she did certain things. But as I got older and I had my own family, I really appreciate that. She gave me values, and she gave me discipline that I needed, and I really need, that I needed and that I still use today. My mom was very special because she was a big encourager to me, and she also allowed me to have confidence, and she always told me never to settle for seconds. So part of my competitive spirit, part of my discipline, part of my love is coming from my mother. And I do want to honor her with this award, and I do want to say, Mom, I know that you're somewhere, and I'm just hoping that I make you proud. So in closing, I want to say this. Impact is important. Just as trophies and ribbons and records are important, impact is important. And I thank all of you for playing a part in my story and allowing me to play a part of yours. And I had to get this one last thing out of the way, because people always ask me, who is better, that 1985 team or your 2014 team? And since both of us are entering the Hall of Fame, I guess we'll never know. Thank you guys, I love you. Go Tigers.
right, thank you again, and congratulations again to Dion. As we bring tonight's Linden High School Athletic Hall of Fame celebration to a close, we want to thank each of you for joining us in honoring these incredible athletes, coaches, and contributors who have made such a lasting impact on our community. Before you go, we invite you to take photos in front of the backdrop, capture these memories, and celebrate your connection to Linden Athletics. The after party, thought that might get some attention. The after party will be held at Central Park, where you can continue the festivities, share stories, and enjoy each other's company. For any questions or additional information regarding the after party, please contact Coach Dion Candia. I'm out of that one. Once again, thank you all for being part of this special evening. Safe travels, enjoy the rest of your night, and here's to the lasting legacy of Linden Athletics. And I believe we have a request for the Linden fight song.
All right, let's all join in. 3 cheers for Linden High School, orange and black. Here's to our high school. Nothing does she lack except the faculty. Baseball, track, and football. These a success. Now all together for